Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of TerraTech. And on this episode, we are going to be continuing where we left off. Now, for those of you who may have missed the last couple episodes, what we have been doing is kind of messing around with our Sentry Towers, and we built a few of them in the R&D, and now I want to actually purchase one of them. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money, and we're going to need a fair bit of cash to do this. Now, keeping within the tradition of what we've been trying to do, which is small bots, or small-ish bots, because some of these are a little bit bigger than I would like. I mean, we're looking at two of them right here, one over here to the side. That is our main attack bot, and then one of them in the back over there next to that Sentry Tower, which is also a fairly decent attack bot. But I want something a little bit more different. Now, I'm trying to build a bot here that is mainly designed to... let me go back into build mode there in a second, if it will let me. There we go. But yeah, I'm trying to build something here that's a little bit more designed to go out and harvest resources. And instead of bringing them back, just stay out there and, you know, go ahead and convert those resources into money for me so that I'll actually have money on the way back that I can do something with. And I'm hoping to purchase those items that I'm missing right now. So what I ended up doing was thinking about this for a little bit. And I was like, should I go with bigger wheels? Because we do have the Geocore wheels, which are definitely bigger wheels. Unfortunately, you get into that whole aspect of, is it any longer a small bot, even if you make it only like 4 wide, if it has giant wheels on there? And I guess maybe it is. But thinking about it too long, I was like, you know, it really is just kind of a cheap move. It's cheating in the sense of we're trying to give ourselves a challenge by going with smaller ones. We're trying to get a different perspective. And if we always kind of go back to the bigger wheels, which, yeah, they have more support, they do get up a little higher off the ground, they can carry a lot more weight, then you're kind of cheating that experience of messing around with the other wheels, which may be not as great in a lot of aspects, but maybe great in their own ways. So that's what I'm going to kind of stick with, is just the smaller ones, even though I know it's not the best, and we could probably do a lot better. I want that experience. I want those trials so I can see if I can overcome them with my, you know, my experience or just intellect alone trying to overcome an obstacle. So we're going to go with some of the smaller wheels, and the smallest wheels I can possibly think of that don't really carry all that much weight, and it actually only been added into the game later on in the game, were these right here, these hub wheels. they are funny looking. They are very, very cool in the respect that you can have them directly underneath a block. And so I was like, you know, I'll go ahead and put those little extensions on here because we are going to need a little bit of space underneath because this is going to be a heavy bot. It's going to have a lot of items on it. And it's going to have to go over hills. It's going to get bogged down with resources. And so I want that extra space so it doesn't get stuck. Not really a fighting bot, but it definitely, you know, maybe poses one. The cool thing about putting these wheels on there, the hub wheels, is now I get to throw these wheels on the side, if I so choose, on both sides of that wheel, which means it's going to support even more weight. However, if you look at it, all the weight is coming down through these brackets onto this wheel, so it's probably going to need all those wheels just to be able to survive the amount of strain that I'm going to be putting on these things. I don't even think I have enough of those wheels laying around because I kind of stopped using those and stopped getting them off of the mob. So maybe by using a few more of them, we're going to go ahead and get some more in return. So I'm hoping that's the case. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep buying stuff, and I'm trying not to buy anything we don't absolutely have to have. So let's see. These are 75 a piece. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we need 6 of those to look at every place that I can see on my guy right now. And we may end up adding a few more down the road if we need to. I'm hoping we don't, because I want this to be as streamlined as possible. I also would be able to add these little wheels here in the back. This one right here that actually goes on the back of it gives it a little bit more turning capability. I'm going to look to see if I have any of those, because I do have space in between. Nope, I don't have any stabilizing wheels. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy some of those. I kind of don't want to, but they should be cheap. Yeah, 30 a piece. And I'm hoping, I think I need 5. Let me do 5. I'm hoping they actually make a difference. I mean, we never really use these things. You have to have a really small bot or a bot close to the ground to use these. And to be honest, most of the time, I go with extremely large bots right off the bat. I start going bigger and bigger, and these just get left in the dust. So this is what I got so far for a bot. I think you can put some in the front, too, for those stabilizing wheels. We might actually do that for one of them anyways. Maybe the ones in the middle. I don't know if I want them on the front piece. That could help them not get bogged down as much, but yeah, it's going to be a little expensive, so we're going to hold off on that for now. We'll go ahead and sell that back so I have a little bit extra cash. Now, I am going to need some recharge bubbles, so let's go ahead and get those for the repair. We don't have any extras, so we are going to have to purchase those. Let me see, do I have any for the other ones yet? No, I have not found the other ones just yet. Okay, so let's go with one repair and one shield. And we'll have to go with a few batteries because I don't think I have any batteries. This is where it starts to add up really quickly. These things are going to cost me a fortune. So let me go ahead and throw these in there. And these will actually get moved here in a second. I'm going to move this off to the side. We'll throw that there. And we'll throw this one on there. And hopefully that is as center as it needs to be. Now you're looking at my bot and you're like, well, there's a few spaces missing on the actual base. Well, it's because I didn't want to fill the space up until I knew exactly what I needed. Again, I'm kind of worried about the weight. So any place I could put base pieces that are going to either sell or recycle pieces or convert them into more refined versions of themselves, I want to have actually down, so they're kind of exposed underneath, but that's all right. I can put weapons down here and things of that sort because it is so high, a little bit more protected in that sense. The only thing I'm really worried about are these legs. I want to make sure they're as protected as possible, so I'm kind of thinking about that ahead of time and seeing what I might be able to do with it. We are not going to need one of these, but we are going to need a small generator, preferably two of them if you have it. Let's put these back here for now. And the reason I want the generator is because when it's out there harvesting stuff in the world, it's going to come across things that it can use to create more energy. So I don't want it to have to stop every so often and put down the solar reactor and have to toss the wireless charger back on it and back off like we do with our main attack bots. I want this to be fairly, independent of all that stuff. So we're going to leave this stuff here for now, the weapons, and that we're going to come over here to the base. And I'm going to see what pieces we can go ahead and snag off this. We're definitely going to need the recycler. But before we do that, let me check to see what we actually have in reserve that we're not using at the moment. So we do have some recyclers, some scrappers, I should say. We want at least one of those. Maybe not, because, recyclers or the scrappers, you have to attack enemies. I'm hoping not to attack anybody with that, so we maybe don't actually need that. We do want a refinery. So let's go ahead and snag one of those. I will put that over here for now. Actually, I'm going to do two of these just for now. So we got two recyclers on there. We got plenty of conveyors. We're going to need a lot of those. We're going to need a fairly decent size of receivers, and we only have two right now. We don't really need to go with the step conveyor. We don't need the fabricator. We're going to need all of these. All of these delivery cannons are definitely going on here. So let's take a look at the way our base is set up right now. I'm going to toss this light down on the ground for a moment, and it's going to get sucked up. I had no idea that was right there next to me, so I got to watch out on that one. All right, so it's going to get picked up. Where is it going to get picked up? I guess it would have to get picked up over here. We might need one of these step conveyors, actually. Let me go see how much those are. Because if they're not too expensive, I think I might throw some of those on in the back. Let me see, step conveyor is 231, which is a little bit outside of our price range. So let me see, what can we throw on there? I could throw some of these weapons on there, stuff I'm not going to be using at the moment, such as the 3-pound cannons. Not really a fan of those, and I wouldn't use those to cut down resources anyways. So let's throw that on there. I don't want to get rid of the drill, because I'll definitely use the drill. Alright, so we have enough for one. That's really all I need. There we go. One right there. Now let's throw it over here in the back. I am going to apply it right here. And that... how does that work? Let me put a conveyor down up here on the top. Let me put that right there. Go ahead and close that down. And then if I attach that there, does that do it? Yeah, I think that does. Okay, so it goes down one. Is that going to be enough space? I'm hoping that's going to be low enough to the ground. And then we'll put these right there, and that should pick it up. And yeah, that's not too bad. Now, I would prefer to go down one more, maybe two, probably one. One is going to be good, I think. We don't have the cash for it right now, so we're gonna settle for that, and we'll change it as time goes on. Now it's going to come in here, and it's going to get refined as it goes up the ramp. So this needs to be the right way. Let's go ahead and turn that around a little bit. Not like that. Not like that either. Okay, so that should be good. I think it comes in like that, goes out the white spot right over there. So let's do the same thing on this one. Get it lined up the way it should be. Actually, we need to change our angle. If it's not looking at the right block and it's thinking I'm holding it on something else, it may never give me the right type of angle that I'm looking for. Yeah, I think it doesn't really want to do it. It thinks I'm trying to attach it some weird way. There we go. Keep going in that direction. Nice. All right, so let's keep putting these conveyors down, and hopefully this works out. I mean, I can't guarantee it. This is a kind of a new design, and I will look underneath it and see if there's any spaces for more blocks, so it's not just completely exposed. But I will put mainly the lighter venture blocks underneath those, just so it doesn't add more weight to it. Again, I'm kind of worried about that. Now, we do have the stationary static delivery cannons. Those aren't the ones we're looking for, or the droids we're looking for. These are the GSO mobile delivery cannons. These can be put down on pretty much any part of your bot, or anywhere, actually, and they will sell on the go. So we're going to use all three of these, because we do want them to sell rather quickly and make us some money on that one. Let's see. One more right there. All right, so it should go all the way down. We're going to have to put one more conveyor right there. Change the direction by right-clicking the mouse button, so you can change the direction the arrows will go. I do want it to be able to... Where did I put that? There it is, right underneath, so we're going to have to move that. I do want it to be able to take the resources rather quickly and charge up. So maybe one right there, and then maybe one next to the step pyramid as we get more of these, so that it can take the wood off of that fairly quickly. The only other thing I could possibly think to do is put one at the end over here as well, so anything that makes it through that can get recycled, we'll do that as well. But it shouldn't get through, it should just sell right here. If it's going to sit here, it's going to get sold. So maybe one over here on this end or something like that, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. So we'll cross that bridge if it comes to it, but again, I don't think that's going to be a problem. We are going to put one of these GSO payload terminals on here just in case I get the opportunity. I'm going to have a little bit of cash on me. Maybe I want to upgrade this. Maybe I want to add a few more batteries underneath. I think that's probably going to be the best bet, is to add batteries down there. Maybe add one more layer, maybe one more row of blocks or something to stop myself from getting destroyed. And now for the actual way we're going to destroy our blocks for the resources that we're gathering. Let me undo that. There we go. Yeah, maybe not the most efficient way, because these weapons definitely are not the best in the world, but they are going to have to do for now, because again, I have no money to buy better or more preferred stuff. And maybe not better, because some people do actually prefer these weapons over any of the other ones. Let me go ahead and throw that in the center so it's symmetrical. I guess we don't really need the drill. I was going to use the drill on this one. Maybe on the legs, so if it gets caught, I'm just hoping that doesn't get in the way, because it definitely could. All right, so now that we got that done, let's come over here. Let's actually take a snapshot of that, and we'll just call it gibberish for now, because I'm not sure if we're going to keep this design. We're going to refine it and make it better. But let's come over here. Let me push this guy a little bit out of the way and see if the batteries will charge up. Come on, baby. Yeah, we got some strength on us. Doesn't seem to be moving in our direction, so let me go ahead and move that over and see if maybe we can get a little bit of loving in there. Now, you do have to get pretty close to the battery, so if the battery is in the back, I don't remember where the battery was on here. I think it's in the center. Still not doing it. Okay, let's try a different outpost. I don't think that one has one on it. Nope, that one definitely does not have a wireless receiver. And these over here do. So let's see if we can get them over here and get just a little bit of power before we head out. There we go. Now it's charging up, kind of. No? It sucked all the power away too quickly, and there was none left. Can I see the battery at all? I should be able to see it from high. Yeah, there we go. So I can see it charging up. It's almost completely charged. Not too many in there, though. Not too many at all. All right, so now we have a fair decent amount. And you can see there's a little bit of lag in the game now. It's because we have been creating a lot of stuff, but more than that, the reason we're getting so much lag now, guys, it's actually nuts, is because the game will not stop spawning bases. It will not stop spawning bots, and there is, 50 or 60 enemies around me at any given time, and the number just keeps increasing. And so unless I can start taking some of these things out without me having to be there, because that's the key. If I gotta be there, it's not gonna work. Mainly for the fact that I can't kill fast enough, considering how fast they are spawning. So I'm trying to stay away from them at all possible. I was trying to go into the area where it's green and not out here in the desert. There's not a lot of stuff out here in the desert worth getting, and this could be a problem. I'm actually a little too high up to hit most of the stuff that's worth quite a bit of money. Well, we'll go ahead and snag that, and we need to get some of these trees too, get some of that wood going in there. Just a couple of pieces, actually, because it does take a little bit of time for that to refine. 320 for each one is a lot more than I thought I was going to be getting. That's crazy. All right, let's see. It doesn't seem to have a problem picking up, though, which is amazing. I like that. You know what? I forgot boosters. If we ever get bogged down, and I know I've just done a giant circle, but I'm looking for the grassland. I know it's somewhere over here next to our base. I think it's over in that direction, if I remember right. It's been a while. Yeah, there it is. You can kind of see the terrain changing. And as I get closer and closer to my base, you see like the weird hiccup that is going on. Oh, man. Another one of these already? Jeez. Okay, well, we're coming this way. Oh, my God. Look at the lag, guys. It was going to tell me something down here on the bottom. Anytime I get close to my base, this message always pops up, and there's nothing there. I think this is the direction we headed off and didn't see the grass line. Maybe I immediately turned to the left or the right or something. But yeah, way too many enemies over here. I'm just trying to avoid them at the moment so I can get a little further in. Not one of the fastest bots in the world. That guy's going to see me. I know he's going to see me. This guy definitely will see me. Come on, get out of there. And they're a little faster than I am, so... Yep, they're definitely coming towards me. And I don't have boosters, jeez. Oh, no, leave me alone. Oh, I have no weapons on the back. This could end very, very badly for me. Only thing I can hope is I can get up into the trees or something to stop this guy from just completely destroying. Yep, he's knocked off everything on my back right there. And he's gonna win. Even if I lose, I mean, even if I win this one, I have nowhere to go. He just destroyed all of my... my receivers, and I don't think I have any more. Although I do have a little bit of money, maybe I can purchase another one. Defend your equipment. Is my base under attack? I would not be surprised if I got back to my base and everything is annihilated. But to be honest, we've kind of reached the point where the game is hiccuping quite a bit because of all that stuff. So we may just have to start another one. I'm hoping we don't necessarily have to do that because I don't really want to. And we can go ahead and purchase one more of these, even though we didn't really have to. We have a lot of those at home. Let's go ahead and put one of these here. Come on, keep putting them on. Let's see. We did lose the generator, so we might have to purchase another one of those. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and purchase another generator right now. Where are they at? No, I don't see them in this little one. There it is. All right, 500. Holy crap, that cost me a decent amount of money. That was pretty much all of my profits right there, gone in just a matter of seconds. So we're going to remove this one off to the side. We'll put this one here. And so that's both of those should be able to take trees to refine the wood, or not to refine the wood, to generate more fuel. This one can't sell because it can't go through the recycler. Is that right? It can't go through the recycler. There it goes. Okay, so maybe one too many then, right there. And what I could also do, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, is put a few more of these conveyors down here. Just one or two. Right there, one more. If it will let me. There we go. And then I can add these, and it should increase the radius at which it can pick stuff up. So we'll put that, actually I'm going to put it down here on the back. There we go. All right, so let's see if we can start getting some stuff, mainly trees, because I do need some resources here. There we go. Wow, these weapons are really, really weak. It took a couple of seconds to destroy a tree. That is nuts. Okay, now most of these will be refined because this generator is not going to be able to pick up all of these fast enough. So these will get in here, they will be refined, they will come out here, and they will be sold. But if you look at it, you're not making a whole lot of cash off of it. Let's see, how much did you make off of that? 12 off of each one of the pieces of wood. So it's definitely something you could try to make a little bit of money off of if you have no other choice. But you saw those orange rocks out there, the ones that we got. Those things were worth 250, I think is what it said, a piece. You know, compared to these, you'd have to be doing these for hours to be able to get the same kind of cash you're going to get off of some of those more expensive rocks. So, you know, choose your targets just as wisely as the blocks you put on your bot if you're trying to make money. Now, remember, you don't necessarily have to make money this way. You can always go through the game and attack other bots, and as you destroy them, use your design to recycle those pieces. And as you recycle those pieces, you can then make money off of them by selling the actual base components or using those base components to make you other pieces. So there's a lot of versatile, you know, different ways you can do things in this game that not one is the right way. All of them definitely work. It's just how you want to play the game. And hopefully at some point you get a chance to experience and experiment with all of those different techniques because there's so many to be had. But I do know when you first get into a game like this, it can be somewhat overwhelming because you do have so many options. You're like, which way do I go? What does what? And especially with the game being as, you know, difficult at the moment, you know, is the best way I can put it because it's not like it's too difficult, but it's definitely not on easy mode, which it has been in the past on several of the updates that they do. They've kind of been experimenting with it, testing out difficult, testing out easy. They did have a few updates where it was, I think it was perfect. It wasn't too difficult, but it definitely wasn't too easy. And so it was right in between, gave me a chance to have combat when I definitely wanted it, as well as times when I wasn't really wanting it. And then it also allowed me time to go off and explore and see the different places on the map at my own kind of convenience, but not so much because I could only go so far before I had to like stop and repair and fix things. And so for that reason alone, I think that's the best option, you know, finding a nice middle ground. But maybe they should just leave that up to the player. You know, come out with a way to make it easy, medium, and hard, and so the players themselves can decide, you know what, I feel like a challenge today. Maybe I want super hardcore. I want all the enemies to be gunning for me. And, you know, again, maybe that's what they're testing out. They're just not letting us know. This is like super hardcore right now because the enemies will not stop spawning. It used to be that you had to keep moving, and if you were moving on the map, the enemies would spawn. But if you ever stopped, if you ever just sat still and built something, the enemies would stop spawning around you. It gives you a break. It knows that you're doing something other than combat, and you don't want to be taken out of that every 5 seconds. You want that break, that little lull in action to be able to build the new bot before you take it out there and get the, you know, the experience of whether that new design worked. Worst thing in the world was when I used to sit here and design my new bots, and while I'm doing it, while all the wheels are off, and I spent like an hour or 45 minutes messing around with the design, and it's almost ready, you know, a bot would come up there and attack me and completely annihilate me because guess what? My weapons aren't in place, my bot isn't done yet, the wheels are not all on, and I just can't compete against a bot that's ready to go. And they stopped doing that. They definitely gave you a chance to recover from that a little faster by not giving you the attack in the first place. They just didn't go after you while you were building. And I think that was the smart move. That is definitely something they should integrate in there a little bit more often and have you get attacked a little bit less often when nothing's really going on. Because I know they want to give a difficult time, but that's a little bit too much, a little bit too ridiculous, I think. So let's go ahead and throw these on here. Now, these are not, those little pads that allow you to carry stuff. These are the actual receivers. Receivers, I think, can carry 3 pieces at a time, and the conveyors, I believe, only 1 piece at a time. So a total of 4 extra pieces that I can carry as I go through the game because of this setup. Of course, you can always go with the tractor pads that carry a whole bunch, and they will, make the resources go from one to the next as time goes on. I'm trying to come over here because I want the green stuff, but I also don't want to fight the flip stick guy. So we're gonna see if maybe we can get over here. I can destroy these from far away. Now he sees me. He sees me. He definitely sees me. And I do have my shields up. So let's go ahead and see if we can annihilate this guy. Now I'm going to free him in a second by actually destroying his restraints, which are the rocks holding him in place. But I'm hoping I'll do enough damage to him before that happens. There he is. He's about to explode. Yep, he is gone. All right, so he is no more. I didn't take a recycler with me, so I won't be able to take those pieces apart. The thing that's not really worrying me too much is before, and I don't know how it is now, but before, these pieces were not able to be taken apart. These are geocore blocks, and geocore, for whatever reason, hadn't been given a recipe in the game yet. I don't know if that's still the case. It's been a while since I've tried. Probably still the case, though. They definitely haven't added something that I'm really kind of missing, is when you made an object or you recycled an object, you would get to see what the recipe for that object was. So once you found the recipe, whether it was by accident or on purpose or whatever the case may be, you didn't have to go out and try to relearn that spell. For people with like really bad memories like me, you know, I was thinking of like the giant receiver. I know on one of our last playthroughs, we found the recipe for that. I mean, it wasn't like a secret, you can find it online, but I found it in-game by complete accident, just throwing random resources in there. And I'm like, that was fairly easy, right? That was resources that I've come across many, many times before, and I can make a ton of those, right? And I did on that playthrough. You ask me now what that recipe was, I couldn't tell you. Like, my memory is shot, but it's nice that it would put that in the game for you, because once you found it, it was there. So I don't have to remember that. So I do kind of miss that being in the game. I also miss the funny, quirky stories that they would put on the items. Like the items would be called like a ZK-47, you know, it's like an AK-47. But they would come out with like a funny background story about like who invented it and why it was invented. And it was like, it was quirky, right? It was funny. And it just, it showed the sense of humor of the programmers in a way that they had never really shown before, and I think they should put that back in. I know they're trying to. I'm just not sure why they took so long to get around to, because it's been a while now that they haven't put that in there, and it's one of those things for me. When I see that in a game, I feel a little closer to the programmers, because they are sharing with everybody a little bit of, you know, who they are, their sense of humor, what they find funny, you know, the interesting stories that they came up with, you know, and maybe it's stuff that they've been like joking around the office when they're talking about like why somebody named something. I remember going to a Gearbox community day when Borderlands 2 was coming out, and they had the guys there that, you know, designed the game and they worked on it. You could actually sit there and talk to them, or you could, while you're standing in line, some of them would walk down the line and you could ask them questions. And I met the guy who designed the little girl who sat on the robot's shoulders. And I talked to him for a little while, and you know, it was just a treat to, you know, touch base with people who are living, you know, kind of a dream of mine is just to work on video games or be part of the video game community in any way, because it's a passion of mine on when I come to video games. And while I was sitting there talking to him, you know, it was funny because there was the guy who actually ran the company. He was talking to somebody else, and he was telling a story about this little squirrel, right? It's like Christmas, they give away gifts, and the gifts, you know, are like $25 or below, and some people went above and they got like better gifts, and it was usually the guys who ran the companies. They got people like Xboxes and things of that sort, but there were a few items that, whether they were worth a lot of money or not, they were just so weird. People actually ended up wanting them, right? And one of the items was a stuffed squirrel that was, you know, the only way I can put it is like humping a nut. And that's exactly what he was doing in it, you know? And it's funny because you give somebody that and you're like, what? Right? Really? This nuts. It's crazy. Why would I want that? And then somebody else sees it and it becomes a joke, and all of a sudden everybody wants it. And because somebody did that, somebody gave it away in the office as a Christmas present, they actually put it in the game as like one of the extra items you can find. You wouldn't know why there was a squirrel humping a nut in the video game as one of like the tokens or hidden, you know, things in the game, but if you talk to them, you would. And that's one of the beauty things about going to those places, or getting to see the sense of humor of the guys in charge of creating the game, is that some of that stuff that you're like, I found that set of rocks, but I never knew that they had an importance or a whole backstory behind it. You know, you get to see that in their writing. You get to see that in, you know, how they design the game and things of that sort. So it's pretty neat, and I kind of miss that they haven't put it back in. Maybe they don't think about it in that regard. Wow, I'm getting attacked over here. Dude, that guy, he definitely has some reach on him. And let's leave him alone. Oh, there's a green one here. I don't want to leave the green one. Let's go ahead and see if we can snag that, and we'll get a little further away from... Wow, there's another base over here. Jeez, there's a lot of enemies over here. Let's get away from this little spot. Although it is a nice little spot to be at. There's some money over there to be had, that's for sure. And we definitely have a lot of energy, because we have been, you know, creating more and more of it as we've been fighting, as we've been collecting resources. And that's why I put those two over there. There's only two now, but look at my battery packs. My battery packs are fully charged, and there's tons more of resources that can be refined into fuel, just waiting to go through. Now, if I had a little bit more money and I had the space, I could always add more of these refineries and make it go even faster. But that's the problem with trying to design this to be a small size bot, even though this is more than small. This is more like a medium small. Like, it's very fragile, but still the sheer size. Maybe not by block size, though. I mean, because if you look at how many actual blocks are on here, it's not really that many. There's a lot of open space. But just by sheer size alone, I'm thinking it's probably more medium than anything else. But again, you could get away with something smaller. You could get away with just one refinery and just one of these mobile delivery cannons. You could have just, again, one receiver and one conveyor kind of going up in the line, and everything is very, very simple. You don't need all these extra little bells and whistles. Although for me, the extra bells and whistles are not here either. Like, I skipped over a lot of stuff that I would normally put on here. And as I was going through it, I was thinking about it in my head before I started the episode. I was like, you know what? It'd be nice if I could have like 5 of those cannons. But then I was like, no, I'd actually need more recyclers, because it takes longer to, or not recyclers, but refineries, because it takes longer to do that than it does to sell them. And then I was like, well, those are a lot bigger, and I'm going to need more space. And then I was like, well, now I'm getting into like medium-sized bots. And when I say medium-sized for me, I'm talking about like large size for most people. And it's kind of snowballed into the point where I was like, nope, I gotta cut it. I gotta draw a line somewhere and be like, I can't keep going in that direction, because there's always more, right? Like, this game really shows that if you're willing to put the effort in, there's always something more you can add to your bot to make it even more efficient than it was before. And it's really fantastic. I love that aspect about the game. It definitely makes it hard, though, for you to find the limit and be like, I don't want to go past that anymore, because you're always pushing that limit. But I think that's a good thing. But guys, we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. I do want to thank you all for coming out and watching. Now, on the next episode, because this one was half building and a half, getting resources, I think we're going to continue with gathering the resources for just one more episode, because if you look at how much cash we already have 16,000. 16,000 is a really, really nice number. It's going to allow us to buy one of the smaller turrets that we have made that, not one of the greatest, but I think it was something like 48,000 or 68,000, somewhere around there. It's going to allow us to buy the big one. And let me check that real quick before we actually head out, because it's fairly easy to do so. Just click in here and go into text, and we'll scroll down to the very bottom. So we have, I do want to buy that SpongeBob thing now that we have it, but we have the Turret Ultra, which is 46,000. So we're about 20,000 from that, and we got 20,000 in about 10 minutes, I think. So that shouldn't take too long to get. And as soon as we have enough money, we'll go back and buy that one. We do want to get the X-Wing at some point, but we don't have all the pieces for that just yet. So we do need to find a few more of these before that happens. We don't have the green and the white one. Are you kidding me? That's going to hold us up. The green and the white one. That sucks. Oh, man. Oh, that's... Okay, well... Let's see, where's the other one? It's not the ugly... small fry, okay. So we have enough for small fry. And small fry is not going to be too bad. So we might buy 2 of these. We'll make it another 13,000 so we can buy 2 of them. Put them over there next to our base. And then we can go off and maybe explore and see if we can find that green and the white one, because I definitely want that. I want to be able to build this. It's really cool looking, and I can't wait to see it on the map itself. It didn't take us that long to get it either. Like, this is crazy how fast we were making money. And then we might try one of these, we don't have the colored blocks either. Dang it. Because I want to get this. It's 0. It's 0 to buy that one. And this one's a little bit of money because it has the batteries on the inside and the thrusters. And I would love to put that in there at some point as well. But I think we're going to stick with small fry for now on, maybe these planes ones might work. Because we don't have the pieces. Dang it. No, we don't have the pieces for anything. The only thing we could get is this one. 43,000. It's the beginning part of a base bot that will probably lag out the game more than anything else that I've ever put down, and probably end it. But maybe it's worth a shot before we stop on this playthrough, because I do know they're supposed to be coming out with another update here fairly soon. But again, guys, I do want to thank you again for watching. I know I've already said that, but we didn't end it, and I definitely will catch you all next time. Hey guys, and welcome to the disembodied voice of AC Gamer. We are definitely going to be doing a lot more series in the future, but here are a few of them that you guys might find interesting. Of course, you're more than welcome to check them out. I would love to hear your comments. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. It's definitely the indicator that I use to tell if you guys want to see more videos like that. of that particular game style, of that series in the long run. So when you guys leave comments down, it helps me decide whether we should keep doing it, as well as whether you want to see games like that in the future. And here are a few of them right here. I kind of picked out a few of different genres. We will be doing spotlights for other YouTubers in the future. So if you want to get a little shout out, definitely let me know. If you group with me, chances are you will get a shout out in here eventually. But for now, these are just 4 series that I have that I feel like could use a little bit more attention and that you guys might actually enjoy as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we will definitely catch you all next time.